Yogi clan, welcome back to Yogi Cycle Service. By the time you're watching this, it'll probably be Wednesday. I think I'll release this video on Wednesday, and this is in response to Dan the Fireman and a video he put out called Cruisers What You Need to Know. It's kind of like it's like Cruisers 101, basically is what that video is. And he covered a lot of good stuff. He covered accessories, ease of maintenance, and all that good stuff, but there's one thing he didn't cover. One thing I thought was very important that he didn't cover. That I think is very needful information. So let's roll the opening video and then we'll dig on in. Alright, Yogi Clan. So Dan the Fireman, definitely a good channel. He has some really good information, some really good videos. Highly suggest you check him out. But he did a video on what you need to know, Cruisers 101. And like I said, he talked about accessories, he talked about ease of maintenance, he talked about cost, and all the wonderful things that we all who ride Harleys and metric cruisers have come to love and enjoy. But he missed the one and probably the most biggest thing, in my opinion, especially when he talked about accessories. What is that? That is cost. In my opinion, the cheapest part of it all is buying the motorcycle. What's expensive is all the crap you have to get after buying the motorcycle. You need a good helmet. That could be $100 to $400. If it's winter time, you need a good heavy leather jacket or some kind of heavy jacket. We'll do a jacket review soon of what I have, because I rode leather jackets for 26 years. 2 years ago, I made a switch to a jacket from Cycle Gear. We're probably going to cover that jacket here. It's a street and steel jacket. We'll probably cover that in a review coming up soon. But you buy the leather jacket. Maybe you buy chaps. Maybe you buy some kind of riding pants. Chaps, could cost you $100 on average. The jacket, a leather jacket, if you buy one from the Harley dealers, it can be $400 to $600. If you buy one from like a swap meet, it's gonna be $100. So you got you gotta buy boots. So you got boots, chaps, pants, jacket, helmet, all in for just the crap you wear, it's gonna be $1,000. Now we talk about the motorcycle. So you buy the motorcycle, however much you decide to spend on a motorcycle. Maybe you buy a Sporty for $8 to $10 grand. A Dyna used to be 13. I don't know how much they are now. The Dyna's probably 15 plus. Actually, they don't even make the Dynas anymore. So Softails, you're looking at 20 plus. Touring bike, 23 plus. And then you add all the accessories. So I made a quick little list of accessories. Shall we? So probably one of the first things you're going to want to do on that brand new motorcycle you get is change the exhaust, because it sounds like an Electrolux vacuum when you first buy it. And oh no, it can't sound like a vacuum. This thing's got to sound like a motorcycle. So what are you going to do? You're going to replace the exhaust. So you're going to start off and go, well, I don't want to spend $400 to $1,000 on a regular exhaust, so I'm going to buy some slip-ons. So you spend $150 to $300, $400 for a pair of slip-ons. You put them on, you run them on there for a year, and you go, this still doesn't give me the sound that I want to get. So then you go all out and you spend $700 to $1,000. Well, let's say $500 to $1,000 for a full set of exhaust, header pipes all the way down to the muffler at the back end. And then you're like, oh, that sounds better, but I want some more power now. So you put the Stage 1 air cleaner on there. And now that you put the Stage 1 air cleaner on there, now you got to do something with your fuel management system. So you spend another $300 or $400 on top of the $150 air cleaner you just put on there for some kind of fuel management system. And then you think, this bike is nice, I like it, but oh man, it'd be so much better if I put maybe some mini ape hangers or some full ape hangers or maybe some T-bars or some beach bars. So I want to switch bars. Well, now you got handlebars at $300 plus each. plus then all the cables or the wire extensions and the labor to do that. And now you're in $1,000 to $1,500 for handlebars. And then, maybe you want those sweet fat front wheels on there. Maybe you want to take that from a 19 inch to a 21 inch or a 21 to a 23 inch. Now you're buying new wheels, which are going to cost you probably used $500, new $1,000 to $2,000, depending upon, for your front. That doesn't include your rear, if you decide to switch the rear, and maybe that paint scheme that you got, maybe you bought your bike used, it doesn't quite have the paint scheme that you want on it, so now you're going to want a new paint scheme on there, or maybe you want some kind of custom-made sissy bar put on there. My list is upside down because I'm turning the wheel. Or, maybe your bike came stock and it didn't have saddlebags, and now you're going over the road, you're making trips on this sweet new bagger that you got, or a sweet new ride that you got, and you need saddlebags put on there. Or you love your bike, but man, I just want to change it a little bit. I want to put it a little bit lower, so you put a lowering kit on there for another $100. Or maybe you want some new grips on there, another $80. Or maybe you want new shocks on there. Now you're talking $250 to $500. And then to do all this wonderful work, you need a lift. So you go out and Harbor Freight it and spend $100 on one of their scissor lifts, or $125 to $150 or a Craftsman, or $400 on a Harbor Freight table, or maybe $750 to $1,500 on a professional table. So yeah, the cheapest part of this whole motorcycling adventure was buying the darn bike. It's everything else that comes after the bike is what breaks the bank. Because not only are you paying that $300 a month payment, but now you're thinking, chrome. Remember, chrome won't get you home. That's the saying. Chrome won't get you home. But boy, it sure looks nice. Oh, unless you're one of those people that likes all black powder coated, because that's kind of the new fad for the past 5 or 6 years is, chrome's too much work. Let's just powder coat everything. So everything is now powder coated, and even the paints are matte finish now instead of gloss finish, which is pretty sweet. I have to admit, it is pretty sweet. But I had a good friend of mine, and he had this beautiful black and red Softail with the spoke rims, with the red rim on it, the spoke wheels. And he just completely stripped all the matte finish off and patinaed the tank, so it looks like a rat rod now. I'm like, you did that to that brand new bike. You just stripped all that paint off and put the patina. I haven't seen it in person yet. I have a feeling I probably will here in a few weeks, but I was like, dude, you stripped the whole paint job off and patinaed the tank, and now it looks like a 1980 something rat rod with red rims. Gotta change the red rims, bro. Gotta change those out. I'm sure it looks good. Wasn't personally what I would do, but I'm sure it looks good. Matter of fact, we had that bike in the garage not too long ago because we did brakes on it. I don't think I filmed that. I don't think we filmed that. But yeah, he brings it over to the shop every now and then for some work done on it. But yeah, he took the tank off, and I guess he took it off and completely stripped it down. I don't know, maybe he did it without taking the tank off, but I wouldn't really see how that would have turned out all that well, so I don't know. We have yet to be seen, but yeah, the cheapest part about this whole thing is buying the bike, let me tell you. I put all this work into the Fat Boy in the past year and a half, rebuilding the cams, and after the cams died, putting a new battery in it, replacing all this wiring. I had plans on changing out just all the primary gaskets, and that's why I noticed that the belt was gone, and then it needed the bolt for the shocks broke. So now I'm thinking, Lord, I just put all this money into this bike, and now I'm gonna have to put in another $250 in this bike, and I don't have $250 to put into the bike. Good Lord, maintenance. Yeah, because not only do you have to buy all that stuff and put all this crap on your bike, but yeah, now you got maintenance. So you're going through a set of tires a year. You figure a rear tire is anywhere from $150 to $200, plus $75 to change it. So there's $275. Your front's gonna be maybe about $150 plus $75 to change it. So you're looking at like $450. a year just for tires. And then you need 2 sets of brakes per year, a front and a rear set. They're $35 each. There's another $70 plus maybe another $75 an hour to change those. There's another $150 for the brakes. Top of your $450. There's $600 for just tires and brakes. Then you got your oil changes. You're probably doing 3 of those a year, $75 each. That's $230 ish. Yeah, you're looking at probably $1,000 a year of maintenance just to. Gosh, I hope my wife doesn't watch this video. Just to keep your bike on the road if you're doing some serious riding. Now, if you're a person that puts on 2,000 to 3,000 miles a year, your tires can go a couple of years. So yeah, that eliminates half of your cost there is tires. And you're probably doing 2 oil changes a year. So, it all really depends upon how much you ride your bike. But if you put, if you're like me, I put 15,000 miles on bikes every year pretty regularly. That's a set of tires. That's 2 to 3 oil changes per year. That's a set of brake pads per year. And then every couple of years, changing out your fork oil, changing out shocks every 50,000, 75,000 miles, new pair of shocks, maybe new springs in the front forks, new handlebars along the way, new fuel management systems along the way, new air cleaners along the way. It's a lot of maintenance. So definitely the cheapest part of buying a motorcycle. Now, I can't really speak for sport bikes because I really haven't owned a sport bike yet. My goal someday is a Ducati. But for now, and I'm not a Harley snob in any way. My first bike was a Kawasaki, and I love the thing. If I'm going to ride a cruiser, it's either going to be a Harley, or if it's going to be a sport bike, it's a sport bike. I'm probably not going to ride any other cruisers other than a Harley. Because I really like Harleys. I really like the Harley Cruiser. I'm sure would I love a sporty someday? Yeah, absolutely I would love a sporty someday. But again, the cheapest thing is buying it. So keep that in mind, Yogi Clan, as you think about what kind of bike you want to buy. Think about what you want to do to that bike. Think about how much that's going to cost to do that bike. Because I don't want you to buy something and then be frustrated because you can't afford to make it into what you want to make it. Maybe you buy a cheaper bike, that way you got some more money left over to make it into what you want to make it. Maybe you buy it used instead of new. Definitely, in my opinion, used bikes are going to be easier for you to work on than a new bike will be. Be easier for me to work on for you than a new bike. These 2018s, 2019s have so much electronics on them. Something goes wrong, you need scan tools to be able to diagnose a lot of those things. The older bikes, not so much. You can get into a good used bike for $6-8 grand for something that's really nice, and put $2-3 grand into it and have something that's really sweet, compared to paying $25 and then having to put another $5 in it to get it to where you want it to be. So keep that in mind. The cheapest thing, Dan, you missed it, my man. I left you comments on there. You still have great videos, though. Not ragging on you, not knocking you. You still have great stuff. But I'm just telling you, you missed it. The cheapest part of the Harley. If you want to talk about Cruiser 101, you got to mention the fact that the cheapest part of it is buying the bike. So thank you, Yogi Clan, for joining me in this rant. Let me know if you, hey man, Yogi, you're wrong. Let me know. I don't think so. I think I got enough years experience now that I know for sure that that's truth. Hashtag truth. By the way, I am digging this new camera setup. Putting the GoPro up there on the dash. Yeah, I don't have to be stuck sitting in a parking lot sweating in the summer anymore like I was before. Thankfully, it was winter/spring, so I could turn the car off, make a quick 15-minute record, and then turn the car back on, get the heat going. But now that summer's coming, yeah, I don't think I want to be sitting still recording anymore. I think I'd much rather be driving just like this, and a GoPro mounted on the windshield, a little microphone action. Oh, what's up? That's the ticket. That's the ticket. So you won't be seeing me sitting probably making a whole lot more videos unless I need to look at some information and look at some paper. I do have one video that's probably going to be coming up. Might be a safety tip Tuesday. We're going to talk about hand signals when pack riding and what hand signals that we use. I saw, was it Bike and Bird, I think his name is. He was talking about how they do like a meetup thing, and he's from Texas, and he was saying how he's going to have to change how they do their group rides because of blockers and blocker situations, and these group rides just getting too big. Well, I've led group rides of 100 people with blockers, so we're going to do some videos soon talking about blockers, how to properly run blockers, because we've been on some rides that they don't do so good with blockers. So I want to share my information, how I run blockers, how I suggest you run blockers, how we run blockers, because we do it very cut and dry, boom, boom, boom. This is how we're going to do it. And the block, we have pre-ride meetings, and I don't want to give away too much now, but we're going to talk about how to use blockers effectively and efficiently. And we're also going to talk about hand signals. I'll make 2 separate videos detailing each one of those, because I think that is very important information for group rides. I don't care if you're a MC or not an MC, or if you're just a group of people, you should know that stuff. You should know how to properly run blockers. You should know how to educate your blockers. You should know how to train your blockers, and your blockers should know how to block and know your signals so they can block for you effectively. So we're going to talk about blockers, and we're going to talk about hand signals. We're going to make 2 separate videos out of that. Hand signals may be a safety tip Tuesday video. Blockers will probably just be a general discussion video. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss that. So make sure you're hitting the like, subscribe, and notify, and all that other good stuff. Mash all those buttons for me. We're up to 225 subscribers. Yes, so excited. I am thankful to my Kelly7 for giving me a shout out, because that bumped me like 50 subscribers. I thank each and every one of you who came from his channel over to my channel to check me out. I appreciate that very much. Tell your friends, tell your aunts, tell your uncles, tell your coworkers, tell your grandmas. Let's help grow this channel and get some of this information out to the masses. So thank you, each and every one of you. I appreciate it. If you need anything from me, if you want work done on your bike and you live in the Charlotte area, hit me up. My email is down below. My P.O. box is down below. So thank you for joining us today, Yogi Clan. I hope you have a great day, a wonderful week, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.